Alright, so this is the first Magic video that I'm putting on um, my channel here. I just haven't really been feeling like playing Legends at all. I just kept seeing Invade over and over and over again, and it's hard for me to get into a game that's, basically dead. Um, I basically went everywhere looking for a different card game to play, and Magic's just every local card shop I have up to like 2 hours away from my house is everyone they all play Magic, and that's like the main source of their income. And I'm gonna get back into physical Magic, and so I hopped on here a few days ago, and I discovered some of the new cards that have been printed I really liked, and the main one being Magma Opus, and it's just really nice having like a fun control thing to do. And Jeskai was always my favorite control deck that I played. I played Approach of the Second Sun with Faya Wishes before when I played Magic. So I took a big break from Magic, and I'm just deciding this is the card game that I'm going to stick with, and the card game I'm going to play in real life and online. Online is probably just going to be Arena because I already have most of the stuff that I want in Arena. This deck does have a few. Oh, really, it's just the Magma Spray in the main deck that I want to change to a fourth Lightning Helix. I need one more rare wild card to get it. So I'm just gonna go over um, the deck real quick and why I do what I do for my card choices. So um, I have Opt at 3. I've always kind of liked Opt at 3. At 4 just feels like I know it sounds silly to say that you see Opt too much, but you can see it too much, and you need spots for actual answers to things and not just constant filtering. The Magma Spray will become the fourth Lightning Helix, the very next rare wild card that I get. Narset just hoses a lot of strategies, and then also finds your combo pieces, which I'm going to get to in a minute. Um, Absorb, it's like one of the only decent counters in Historic, so got to go with it. I went with the Censor over the Remand, or whatever they call it in Historic, the two drop counter spell that just like puts it on top of the deck. And the reason I don't like that card is because oftentimes I need to like actually answer the card. So like Nissa who shakes the world, I don't want to put that on top of their deck. I want to get rid of it. I don't want to ever see it again. So having the ability to hard answer is really good. And the cycling, this is Magic. You get mana screwed. You get messed up by the game's mechanics because it's one of the first card games, so the mechanics really aren't that great. So anytime I can take an option where I can try and smooth out my deck, I tend to go for that, because Magic will screw me over, and I will get mana screwed, or draw the wrong half of my deck or whatever really frequently. So I make my decks as smooth as I can. Wrath of God, it's my board wipe. Needs to be Supreme Verdict. They need to print Supreme Verdict for Historic, because there's too many things that aren't counterable. There's too many things um, that are just really, really sticky and that can just splash blue and then like Spell Pierce this, or just anything to mess with the Wrath of God, and then I just lose the game. Like there's a reason Supreme Verdict exists, and it needs to exist because the power level of cards are just too high now, and just having a standard board wipe isn't good enough. It needs to not be able to be countered, and then your opponent needs to main deck things that can help resist this. Like if you're aggro, you know, Selfless Spirit, or like a Brave the Elements, or like just something to deal with it. But this really needs to be Supreme Verdict. But this is the best I've got in this format. So this is I'm actually going to come back to this. I'm just going to go over Opus right now, actually. So it's a drop instant that you can pay 2 mana to ditch it to your grave, and you get the treasure token. The treasure token is actually good for a multitude of reasons. One, because it can allow you to Wrath of God on 3, which can be a really big deal. And then also you can Teferi on 4, which is also a really big deal. And then also Gear Hulk on 5. So just that one little bit of acceleration is just massively important. And the main thing that you want to do for acceleration is on turn 3, you can play the Mastery card. You can exile it from your graveyard, create a copy of Magma Opus, and then you draw 2 cards, you tap 2 things, you deal 4 damage, and you get a 4/4 token. So doing all that on turn 3 is just a really crazy power play, and a lot of people just scoop whenever you pull it off because it's not like a card advantage state that you can come back from. So that combo is really good against everything, and it completely hoses aggro because it's basically a mini board wipe on 3, and then you draw 2 cards and you get a 4/4 blocker, and it's just a really bad time for your opponent. And then the other way we have of recurring it is Torrential Gear Hulk, which is just it's always been here. It's been here for a really long time, but just didn't have that really strong target like Magma Opus to get out, and now we do. And also the burning for 4 damage that can go to face combined with the Lightning Helix. A lot of games with Mastery and Gear Hulk, you just end up closing the game in 2 or 3 turns because you're just burning them to death. So it feels a lot more like a proactive control strategy, and then Shark Typhoon is just crazy good. You can chump block, you can trade, and then you draw, or you can just hard cast this. And I didn't realize it. I thought this just copied it, but that's not what it does. It casts a copy of it. So if I have Shark Typhoon out hard casted, and I play this on Opus, I get an 8/8 Shark token, a 4/4 Shark token, and a 4/4 Elemental token. So you end up just with a full board for 4 mana. It's absolutely ridiculous. Um, and so yeah, that's the main deck. That's my mana. It's probably not the most optimal mana. Um, I haven't optimized any of this yet. I just actually started playing matches with it day before yesterday, and I didn't play this game at all yesterday. Um, Sideboard is still also a work in progress. So people seem to have like a really I don't know, like a hard on for Izzet Phoenix. So Magma Spray will exile the Phoenix and also is just good against low to the ground aggro in general. Dovin's Veto, if they're trying to Planeswalker me to death, because I know there's a lot of strategies in Historic where they just try and ramp to just um, a plethora of Planeswalkers, and that's really hard for Control to deal with if they don't counter them. Once something sticks on the board, it's hard to deal with. Um, so it's one of the best cards to allow that not to happen. If they're blue, this is just a hoser card. Settle the Wreckage, another board wipe, also good against Izzet Phoenix. Um, I need to craft more of these because it stops all the uncounterable stuff. It's basically a spell queller enchantment without the cap on how much it can cost. So I'm going to use this to cover like the Chandras, the Eldrazi craziness, Niv Mizzet, just all the weird stuff, and just be able to have an answer to that anyway. And then Elspeth Conquers Death is my card for if something slips through my counters, then I have some version of hard removal, and then also can reoccur the Narset that they probably killed because they had to, or the Teferi that they killed because they had to, and it's just a ton of value on one card. So that's the main deck and the sideboard, and I'm just gonna hop in a match in just a minute here, and depending on how long that is, I might do another one, but I'll have to see. All right, so last night when I went to record the first game, my opponent just, I guess, was never there AFK, and it just he timed out, and I just wanted to go to bed. So I'm back from the gym and grocery shopping, so I'm just gonna record the match now. I'm trying to decide if I want to do single or a match. I mean, I guess I did the sideboard and everything, but maybe in the future I'll just do singles because it's more exposure to different decks instead of just like one long match. And I don't want to do 2 matches because that would probably be like a 50-minute at minimum video, which is probably just way too long. So I don't know. If you have a preference, just let me know. I haven't uploaded a video in a couple weeks, maybe even a few weeks. I had COVID for a while, and it wasn't bad at all, but I had a sore throat for about a week, and I didn't feel like doing this with a sore throat. So he's going first. If I was going first, I'd probably have to mull this away, but since I'm on the draw, I'll keep it. I usually don't see that card unless it's Phoenix. We'll see. Okay, really glad I drew that land there. If it is Phoenix, I'll probably have to go into the sideboard for the Magma sprays and the settle the wreckages. Okay, so I'm gonna ramp myself. The sooner I drop down to Fairy, the better, obviously. So I'm probably just gonna cycle the Shark Typhoon, no matter what he does, because I need to find that land and drop the Teferi. I mean, he's probably main decking some sort of counter spell, but if I'm not playing the Teferi, I'm probably just being way too passive. So we'll have to see. Yeah, I still haven't seen anything besides blue and red. So Narset's okay. So I'm deciding if I want a Lightning Helix to just eliminate it and then get my draw, and just hope that I top deck a land, which is probably what I have to do now. Because cycling Shark Typhoon, I won't be able to get the draw off the Teferi anyway, so I feel like I'm just forced into this line. I was running Narset at 3. I might have to go back to 3 because the card's just silly. Okay, of course we don't draw it. So, you know, typical Magic. So now I'm really far behind now. If my next card's not land, I won't feel so bad. Alright, come on. And he knows I'm fishing for lands because he knows I skipped my drop. Okay, so I would have been able to play Tef, but again, I wouldn't have been able to draw, so I don't know how good that actually is. I think I just have to jam it because I am just being way too passive if I don't. And the way he's holding, it's really making me think he's got counter spells. If it's the one that puts it on top of the deck, that's gonna be really, really bad because that means I'm not gonna get a land, so I won't be able to replay it next turn. Okay. That's okay. If he just hard casts this at the end of my next turn, that's okay. I had no idea that they made Blood Sun, which is basically like Blood Moon. That's definitely something. So I can cycle my Shark Typhoon and block this thing. Okay, we're gonna Shark Typhoon for 2. No reason not to. He might have something to deal like 1 damage. I don't know. So I'd rather it just have the 2 toughness. That's excellent. Oh wow, if he doesn't have a negate spell, then this is just beautiful. He probably does though. So I can board wipe him. I want to force out whatever he's got to do for the turn now. Wow, okay, so he's got another counterspell. Okay, so I can't do anything besides this. I'm just gonna get burnt out. And he's gonna have another counter spell, I'm sure. Nope, okay, cool. He's really trying to find it, though. Oh boy. So this is just some really strange, like, I don't even know, burn control-y deck? Okay, so that was just really, really bizarre. Let's see, it wasn't Is It Phoenix, unless you just never drew the Phoenix. Um, I don't know what he's going to side against me, but I'm just going to load up on the counter spells, and I'm assuming he's going to side like Chandra or something against me. Okay, so this is a lot of cards to get rid of. Lightning Helix is good heal. I don't really want to get rid of that. Hmm. What to get rid of? One Wrath of God's probably not a bad cut. One Shark Typhoon's probably not a bad cut. I think the counter spells are much more important. Might just put the third Narset in my board. Hmm. It's kind of slow, so I think I'm gonna cut one of those. Maybe I'll cut one Elspeth Conquers Death. Maybe one more Wrath of God. I just don't see him getting a big enough board that it matters. I feel like this is gonna be like a tit for tat type of thing. Oh boy. I don't want this messing up my curve in the future, so I'm playing it now. And I hope he plays something so I can get value out of these sensors, but he looks like he's just passing. Yeah. Um. Yeah, Narset would just be killer right here. I'm helping him burn me to death. I might need to absorb and veto, which is why I played this over the Foundry. I can't let a Narset stick, ever. I want this to be bigger than 3 to avoid his lightning bolts. So this doesn't need to come in. I think he's gonna think twice. No, okay. Okay, so I have access to 7 mana, so I can do this and veto. Okay, so he is just some weird ass burn deck. Maybe I should have waited until I had one more land.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Okay, I will pay the 2 life here. So now I can hold up Absorb. Do I care about this? One, two, three, four, five. If I draw a land, I can Elspeth Conquer's Death that. I mean, if I'm not getting rid of this, I don't know what the hell I'm getting rid of. Fry is uncounterable anyway, so I'd rather just deny him the card draw. And if he eliminates this, he's going to get rid of the rest of his mana, and then I can Elspeth Conquer's Death just to recur the Teferi. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Okay, yeah, so he just spent his whole turn to filter for 1 card, which I don't think is worth at all. Okay, that's not correct. Oh, what am I doing? I had to Elspeth Conquer's Death first. Oops. It's just a habit. Just my order of operations. I'm like always plus the fairy. So I missed a draw, but whatever. Do I even have a, nah. I mean, 3 more turns of this and he just auto loses. So there is that. Uh-huh. So we're getting to the point where, it doesn't really matter what he does, we're just gonna have an answer for everything. I mean, that's fine. He just wants me to, like, replay it. That's really good against him. And I have Mystical Dispute as well.
Sorry I'm late.
I guess that was just his desperate attempt for me not to continue to advance the Teferi. Oh, it's another one? Yeah. No, we don't like that. More mana is better. Alright. Yeah, it just seemed like he didn't have an answer for the Teferi. Elspeth Conquer's Death was really nice right there. I don't know if I want to change anything for game 3. I could see Mastery going to 2 and putting that at 3 because it's just so powerful and he can only have so many damn answers, right? Yeah, it's not a great hand, but it's not bad enough to throw away. He's open with that every game. He must run like a playset of this. I mean, he's only 2 colors, but yeah, my God. So he's gonna stick the Narset before I can do anything about it. Ooh, I have the good combo. So if he Narsets next turn, that's a really big mistake. Okay, so I want to jam really badly Mastery, but what counter spells have I seen from him that only cost 2? I've seen Ionize, I've seen the Foretell one that also costs 3. Um, okay, so if I don't do this, then what am I holding out for? I just don't think I can. I think he's gonna have an answer. I think it's better to Shark Typhoon and just get more mana. I think that's just beyond pivotal. Yeah, he's done way too much of this scrying to just not have an answer. What is this? Okay. Spyglass. He's gonna name Teferi, and I don't have an answer for Spyglass. Okay. So I want him to burn the counterspell on the Opus. Burn the counterspell on the Opus, and then he can't do anything proactive on his turn, otherwise he'll be scared of me sticking to Fairy. So I think this is an actual good use of my tempo. Yeah, that's fine. Now he can't do anything that he wants to do. Okay, and now we're back to the Shark Typhoon plan. Yeah, I mean, it's obnoxious, but yeah. So he got a +1. I'm not a big fan of. We have to stop that. And then I am gonna jam to Fairy, and then if he responds, then I'm gonna jam this. Okay, so he thinks that this is like that a big a deal for me, and it's really not. Like this is a really slow matchup where I can take my time. And I'm assuming this is 3 mana open up for Ionize or whatever, but I am wearing him. I'm wearing him out. So, and he can't Spyglass forever. Like all my threats, he can't get rid of Teferi and Shark Typhoon and Opus. Like he can't name all my win cons. So we're gonna jam it. He's gonna counter it, and then next turn I'm gonna Elspeth Conquers Death. Just counter it. You have to counter it. Stop playing with me. Yeah. And then if I top deck a mana as well, I can guarantee Elspeth Conquer's Death basically goes through with Dovin's Veto. And that's why we run this, baby. That's why we run this. I really hope that's not like Spell Pierce. Okay. See, I thought I was kidding in that deck profile about people running jank shit that can dodge my counter spells and then just give me way too big of a problem. So I'm gonna use Narset to try and find more of these. I'm gonna grab as many of these as I can possibly grab. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, this is gonna deflect the 4 damage. So, I mean, I could just chump block it, which I may end up doing. I'm taking this, just like I said I would. And yeah. I could also let him kill it and then Elspeth Conquers Death it again. Of course, if that's a draw spell, I think this is actually best. Yeah, I mean, I have no way of getting that back anyway. Um, I was gonna say I'll take a Teferi right here, but another one of hers is pretty good.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers. Meditate and prepare.
I just want an answer for this. So he's gonna swing and bait out the Helix, which is sensible. Yeah. So here we go. I'll take the 2 damage. If he wants to continue this, that's fine. Then all the cards are on the table. Okay, this is awesome. Okay. All right. I just need I need a good draw. I need a good draw. That is exactly what I needed. That is precisely what I needed. Alright, now I'm gonna try and turn this around with the Shark Typhoon. And that's really good.
Always nice to get
Whew.
out of the lab.
So this is him getting the counterspell from Elspeth Conquers Death. Yeah, top decking that dispute was pretty clutch. Yeah, and he's just trying to get to something obnoxious to kill me with. Yes, that was intense. But I think out of the sideboard we were okay, and game one probably could have went a lot better for us. So that was really stressful. I am just gonna cut that off right there. Um, but yeah, if you enjoyed the video, let me know. I know it's not Elder Scrolls Legends, but I played like over 15 card games, and um, I'm just tired of them not getting enough support and then fading away, or I don't have any local support around me, so I'm just sticking with Magic most likely because um, it's just consistent. I can rely on it. But thank you for watching, though.